I am losing my voice. I haven't even been out here much at all today. And the air is just so awful. You can actually smell the smoke right now. Everything's been hazy and not great. So I'm going to try to do a rather quick garden tour right now and give you guys some updates on what's going on and where we are with everything, because it's already the ending of the first week of June. So here we have our corn garden. This is on irrigation. You can see the deer still are going through. Jace was able to get the mats or the woven fabric down in between the rows. You rake them up. We still have to do a couple more pieces there on the back side. We're gonna do, I think, more pieces here. I did sow some of the giant pumpkins we did last year just for fun. So this guy right here, and I'm gonna try to train him to come back this way. But I have a feeling he'll go through the corn a little bit as well. You can see we still need to do this side, but we're gonna actually do one larger, thicker piece because of the pumpkins and squash there, so that we can train them over here. And if the pumpkin ends up coming this way, that'll give us a little more space. The corn didn't come up that great. Not sure if stuff got seeds or if it's because of all the walking on top of it with the animals. But we do have a couple decent size here. And we also have our hills here, summer squash, zucchini, and these should be baby pan pie pumpkins. And over here, I believe that's a butternut squash. I've got some sunflowers, pro cuts, and some branching sunflowers right here. So I also did put some sunflowers in between here and here, the squash. Over here, our garlic is getting pretty big. We should start seeing scapes any day. Excuse me. And it's decent size. I'd like it to be a little bit bigger. Some are a little small. So I would need to run the irrigation a lot more, especially with the yellowing of the leaves. Try to get that down. Oh, here's scape. Like I said, any day. Here's one of the first ones. So those should be ready in a week or two. And I do have some scapes that are almost ready in the hoop house. So that'll be good. That'll definitely be good to start cutting. The tomatillos that were on the end here really got eaten badly. There's one left there. There's two here. So we may need to replant more. I have 4 left that I can plant. But these are past my waist on height. Kind of hard to tell, but definitely pretty tall. Over on this end, I did throw some more pumpkins, and we're gonna have to train those because we need this area for the tractor path. Over here, I've got my delphinium plugs. I'm definitely doing much better. You can see some of the yellowing, that's the old growth. So the new growth is looking much better. Back there, I killed a few. This is a really dry area because of the high winds we get, or the constant wind, I should say. The asparagus, I probably should try to stake some of these large asparagus up. And they are just beautiful though. I did use some of these in cut bouquets, And then the rhubarb, the little guy on the right is the one that I planted from seed last winter. Potted it or planted it out here, and then the one on the left is the one my mom split from her garden. I cleaned all the roots and put that in. I've got dill coming up all throughout the asparagus bed, which will be great for more cuts and for eating. The asters are kind of hung up underneath here. I believe those are asters. I think this is chamomile. And then these little round leaf items are thistle. I think this one is the silver and the blue is over on the other side. I cut the stumps down. I planted sunflowers in the back there. You can see somebody's been digging it up, so we'll see if that actually gets anything or not. I've got the Mexican perennial sunflowers. Lupin, I cut the flower off that lupin already. Butterfly bush, hollyhock. The hollyhock looks like it needs some fertilizers and probably water. Bee balm and the yarrow. The yarrow is definitely having aphids and issues. So for the most part, ants aren't really bad for your gardens, but they tend to mean that there are lots and lots of these little aphids. And so if I don't get this under control soon, these will not be usable for cuts, which would be very unfortunate. And I probably have about a week to 2 weeks before they'll be ready. So I did try to release some ladybugs. I'll show some footage of that. And it looks like most of them have gone away at this point. I also got some footage of an ant shoving a ladybug away, which I was really surprised with about how aggressive they were. Well, the ant's trying to fight that ladybug. You see it push? I've got the feverfew here. I believe this is an echinacea. This is a lavender here, which will be beautiful. Sedum, a tree. I need to pull that. I think this is a spiderwort. I can't ever remember the name, but I love this one. This is another one my mom brought down from my childhood garden. This one doesn't spread very much, but it is the bright yellow leaves with dark flowers, which I really like. And then the peonies are getting really close. I'll only harvest one of these this year. I think maybe two, but there is quite a bit of greenery on this, and it's definitely nice and tall. Probably over maybe 26 inches or so. We'll see how they come out, but I'm excited for those to open. Over here I've got the Shasta daisies and basil. I need to have a lot more basil to plant. Gomphrena, sedum. Here's the tansy I got at one of the perrenial swaps. And glads. I planted more glads as well a little later, so I'll have a longer harvest season. The salvia has been really good for cuts. I've been harvesting it kind of as it opens. Hollyhock, more bee balm, and this is one of the weeds. I think it's like a goldenrod. Can't remember the real name. More glads back here. Not sure exactly what that one is. I can't remember. Irises. With the irises, you can actually cut the spent flowers, and additional flowers will come up off those same buds. So I've been doing that to keep the garden going. More spiderwort. This is a sorrel, I think. I really like the look of it. It is edible, but friend gave that to us. Sedum, some snapdragons, some smaller lavender, a bigger lavender from last year. Looks like some poppies are coming up finally. Everything's really weird and late this year. These are the Mexican forget-me-nots here, and I seeded a bunch more in front of that. Another snapdragon. I don't even know what this is at this point. I thought it was Nigella, but I could be really wrong. I seeded this and a long time ago, and then nothing came up, and then all of a sudden stuff's coming up, so I'm not sure. Yeah, a lot more glads and irises. This mullein I'm actually going to take out, but I was tempted to try to use this as a centerpiece with flowers around it for a cut, but I need the space in this garden. I've got oregano, which will flower really nicely, hyssop, cosmos, zinnias that I put in here, feverfew, columbine here on the front, dianthus, which looks like it's been getting dug up, sedum, more thistle, spicata, the liatris is right here, and then these are just absolutely beautiful irises, the bearded irises. So that's what we have going on over here and in the garlic and corn beds. It's definitely filling up. I think it's starting to actually look like a garden, but also functional for cuts is my goal. So these little walkways here, I'm gonna still trying to figure out. I'm not sure if I'll just mulch right there and leave the rest open. The compost we put in was not as broken down mulch as I normally would have expected. So lots of things coming, but right now not many blooms, which is really frustrating. It's the normal quiet time. This is known for the time where you really need those perennials to hold you over. And I am thinking about doing a bunch more peonies, which would help. These ones are a little late this year, but in theory, a lot of people's peonies are blooming all around me right now. So I will continue on and do the next part. I think I'll release these in parts because they are going to be so long to kind of cover everything that we have going on.